It is still Monday, November 24th, 2014. This is still the morning edition. I am still Yael Levi. Thank God for that. And thank you for staying with us. American music industry icon Seymour Stein was the keynote speaker at In Tel-Aviv, an annual music industry conference and showcase that took place in the past few days in the Israeli city by the sea. Very tumultuous sea behind me. So to hear more about the new local talents and the whole festival, we're joined in studio by the CEO and managing director of Ole Records, Jeremy Hulsh.
Yes,
I'm pronouncing your name right?
That's correct,
Okay.
sure.
And also with us, Grammy-nominated producer, you're killing me with this, Firstborn, like Jesus.
Not quite.
Good. Firstborn, first of all, I have to, because, I've been getting texts, just so you know, before we entered the studio, that you are actually also in the works right now doing the next album with Rihanna.
Oh, I'm one of many producers working on the record. Been working on a couple of the albums, man. Right. I'm just excited, and we'll see what happens.
We'll touch on that in a second, because Tony Grant, of course, is here too, and he's part of her Navy, just so you know.
I am.
Yes.
Yes. She has a very big Navy.
Yes. I short the Middle Eastern quadrant.
Exactly, he's the Middle Eastern quadrant. But I want to start, first of all, Jeremy, let's start with you.
Sure.
Tell me about this festival, because I think it's something that actually gives a huge chance to many local artists.
Sure,
correct?
yeah. So we created In Tel-Aviv about 4 years ago as an international showcase platform where we essentially deliver some of the most influential industry veterans and media from around the world to take a look at, fall in love with, and then invest in local talent. This year we brought in over 30 international delegates. We showcased around 40 acts in over 9 venues. We had thousands of fans come out and support the scene. And already I'm hearing of deals that were being done between our international guests and local talent. Some of the guests that came out this year were Ziget Festival, Lollapalooza, Bonnaroo,
This is a huge chance, actually, for people.
It's huge,
yeah.
Because the scene here is small and vital, and they don't have the kind of relationships that they need or the exposure that they need, and that's where my organization comes in, and we try to make with whatever we can, because again, we are a nonprofit, a very valuable contribution to the local music sector.
No, definitely, and Firstborn. I just love saying this. But this is your first time in Israel?
It is.
What do you think about the music scene?
Man, I love it. I was asked several questions on what I thought about Israel and what I thought about everything, and it's a very feeling place. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of people who wear their emotions on their sleeve. Whether the emotions are great or sad or bad or whatever.
Or in your face.
Yeah, but it translates into music. And for music, emotion is everything. It's the currency of music. So I was very impressed, very moved by a lot of the artists, and I can remember a lot of the things that I saw and heard and felt, man.
Do you feel that the music, it's a beautiful point of making that it interlaces that type of in-your-face, mentality, which, by the way, people usually hate about us, so I like that you like it. But does it feel? How do you feel it in the music? And do you see anybody that really, jive you in a way that you're thinking?
Oh yeah, it's funny because my family's originally from Jamaica, so that's why I can relate.
You can relate.
Yeah. But yeah, there were several brands, thanks to Jeremy and Ole, that they bridge the gap between things I may never hear, and opportunities these artists may never get, and they bridge the gap for us to be in an interaction with each other. It was just very moving to see artists very passionate about what they're doing, and they see Israel and they see, things on television. They're like, how can I get from where I am in this small country to where I want to be in front of the world? And it's these relationships and this bridging of a gap that, that makes that possible.
Yeah. And Jeremy, I'm wondering with you, how did this come about 4 years ago? What was the idea behind it? Because, in many countries around the world, everybody, a singer will dream to go, and make it all the way, and obviously the place is the United States.
Yeah. Actually, Ole's been around for over 9 years now, and we've been delivering Israeli talent to showcase events and festivals abroad all along. It got to a point where we were servicing so many talents, and every country now has their own industry event. In France, you have MAMA Paris, which is their big industry event. South by Southwest, of course, which is the biggest. We deliver artists to both those and dozens more. The idea was, to try to not only bring artists abroad, but also bring the people, the decision makers, the influencers here to not just see a band, but to taste, smell, touch, feel, the scene. And that's what they did. Everyone walked away with a totally different perspective of the music scene here. And that's really what this is about. Music export, which is essentially...
Come see the culture and the music, not just the war.
Yeah, well, again, we're an apolitical organization entirely. Our focus is really about the music. Obviously, there is a certain cachet of influence that we have when it comes to showing people a different side of Israel. We have a lot of challenges here, but I think our biggest challenge is the fact that there's just so much talent and not enough places.
I wanted to hear that because I have to say this to both of you, also you firstborn. I love saying that. But I had a friend in New York who once said to me, he was actually the music writer at the time, many moons ago, of the New York Times, and he said to me, I don't think there's rock and music cannot be anything else but in English. I mean, clearly you guys don't feel the same. Is there room, though, for Israeli music, do you think, in the international music scene?
I definitely think so. I think the international music scene is all about new music and great music. And I was telling a couple of artists, they were like, how can we do this? How can we do that?
How can we translate?
Yeah, it's about innovation. It's about being who you are from where you're from, and being that at the best of your ability, and people can relate to any emotion. We're all related in that sense, and so if you can communicate that emotion from a real place, people want to hear it. Similar things people are going through here in Israel, they're going through in the States, or they're going through in Australia, they're going through in China, they're going through in Japan, and in India. We're a smaller community of humans than we realize, and I think Israel is just another place like that they could communicate for the world.
Well, an optimistic item that doesn't happen to me every morning. But Jeremy, and really quickly to you, Jeremy, I'm wondering in terms of, has in this specific round of Tune in Tel Aviv, are there any artists that stood out that you think connections have been made?
Sure. I can name a few acts that just a lot of people were talking about. Alone Landa, A Collective, Garden City Movement, a prodigy young guy named Tamir Grinberg. Seymour Stein was definitely interested in what Tamir has to offer. And the other thing I just want to point out is, in terms of whether or not Israeli artists can succeed on an international stage, that's already happening. It's just not happening at scale. I want to do what Bjork did for Iceland, what ABBA did for Sweden. We have the talent here. We just need to be able to brand it, communicate it, market it, and deliver it, in a much more significant way. And that's what I'm trying to do with Tune in Tel Aviv.
No, I'm very much impressed. And firstborn, really, quickly, have you tasted the local foods? Have you had some hummus already?
Oh man, well, you're gonna laugh. I don't personally prefer hummus, but everything that I've had here has been awesome.
Isn't it?
It's been awesome.
It's been awesome.
I don't have enough.
Tastes like fruit.
Yeah, I don't have enough, styrofoam boxes to take all the food that I want home.
There you go.
Man,
exactly.
please.
Exactly. And, speaking of which, you guys are locked in the studio. We have another item coming up, but we kind of locked you in.
Sure.
Because this is Tony Grant with the spiral viral that is the web review. Also of Rihanna's Navy.
Navy, yes.
Yes.
I actually have accepted my first shipment of Rogue Man, the fragrance for Rihanna by men. For men by Rihanna. See, I'm turned around.
Clearly, we do very serious news.
Yeah.
In this part of the show. Yes.
Anyway, speaking of pop music, pop stars, getting right into it, Katy Perry, who I think has more Twitter followers than God.
Or the Pope.
Or the Pope. She has slammed the so-called perverted and disgusting Australian paparazzi for stalking her as she was making her way to the beach. She's part of her Prismatic tour there in Australia, and she sort of tweeted this. It's like a very lengthy screed against the paparazzi in general, and it makes you wonder.
Woman, you're a celeb. Get used to it.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, she's kind of courting the paparazzi just by dint of being Katy Perry, but she wants her private time, her downtime. So you got to say, I don't know. Twitter flap.
Crimea River.
Anyway, so that's my transition to the pop stars. But speaking of perverted and dangerous, it brings us right to Adolf Hitler. and we cannot.
Good morning, all.
Good morning. Boker tov. Guten
Yeah.
Morgen.
Yes. What about Adolf?
Hitler as the artist, as a young man.
Yes, we forget.
We
Yeah.
forget, but someone at an auction over the weekend slammed down something like 130,000 euros for a painting by Adolf called Civil Registry Office in the Old Town Hall of Munich. Now,
Not a Van Gogh.
not a Van Gogh. So this was an auction, I think it was somewhere, I don't know where it was, but guess who the buyer was? An unidentified individual from the Middle East.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't know if it's going to rise up in some IS video next.
I don't know.
But can you imagine having that on your living room wall? And what do you tell people when they come in? Yes, this is by Adolf Hitler.
Yeah,
I mean, come
it's
on.
it's just Hitler actually painted 2,000 paintings between 1905 and 1920.
No, but it's the old joke. But it's like he wasn't very successful. It's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to kill
try
everybody.
politics.
Yeah,
and
there
then
you go.
all the rest of it. So interesting news on the
People
art
sitting in the
front.
studio like this, we have no idea where we just arrived. Yes.
Wow, remember the Wizard of Oz?
Of course.
Yes.
Yes, there's no place like home.
There's no place like home, and the Cowardly Lion costume is up for auction starting today, I believe in New York. Yeah, of course, that's something that is
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh,
Oh,
my.
my.
Yeah. Now, you know who played the Cowardly Lion back in that?
We do?
Joe Biden. Sorry. No, it was Bert Lahr.
It was Bert Lahr.
Who may or may not have been Jewish. Anyway, so that can be yours.
Big question every morning here. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, amazing stuff there in auction. I would buy it.
I would buy it again.
Yeah.
And actually, I'd go for the
Keep
Tin
it
Man,
rental.
I got to tell you.
Oh, the Tin Man.
Tin Man,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was the coolest
That was
one,
the coolest
wasn't
one,
it?
the Tin
Yeah.
Man. And of course, and I'm a chick, so I want the shoes also.
Yeah, I want
the red
Toto.
shoes. Yeah, you want Toto.
Take Toto.
Okay.
Anyway, the British we talked about are coming to New York in December. Kate and William. There's a dress code. The Buckingham Palace has said that journalists can't wear blue jeans if they want to cover the royals doing their
Love of
thing.
God.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a little bit.
Yes.
Journalists have taken to Twitter to say, hey, the royal family is trying to tell the American press how to dress. Isn't this what the revolution was for? Yes.
No, if I was a journalist still based in New York, I'd be going over there with little tea bags, just throwing them at them. Yeah.
Call the teabaggers. No, this is very interesting stuff, though, because, is anyone going to actually pay attention to this in the U.S.? I mean, they also say technicians
Yeah,
can't
good
wear
question.
jeans.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
But it's very, I don't know. I think Americans, correct me if I'm wrong, are so in love with anything royal from the UK that they'll probably
comply.
follow suit.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like, I don't care.
I don't
Okay.
care. Yeah.
And, yes.
Of course, the Bill Cosby scandal is continuing, making the front page of newspapers like the Daily News. Now, some guy used to work at NBC, Frank Scotty, says he paid off Cosby's girls with payments of $2,000 here and there. Didn't realize at the time that he was covering up some perhaps untoward shenanigans.
This is just, the sad thing about this story is the amount of, if true, I'm glad it's coming out, but I don't know now of any woman in the States who wasn't harassed by Bill Cosby. That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I was waiting for Lisa Bonet to say something. Who was my favorite on the Cosby
Of
Show,
course.
and your favorite too.
She was everybody's
admit it.
favorite. Yeah, of course, yeah.
She gave a very mysterious tweet in which she alluded to karma.
Oh, God.
Yes, and then she deleted her Twitter account. So she, I don't know if you have a picture of the tweet, but people are saying, it's what you say.
Karma,
what you do.
and then gone.
Like karma catches
Nice.
up with you, and then she disappeared from the
How
Twitterverse.
the mighty have fallen, seriously.
Yeah, so interesting.
Sad.
It's not done with that.
And?
Valerie Trierweiler, the former esteemed first
lady.
unofficial first lady,
girlfriend.
first girlfriend of France for a while, has dished to the BBC about her personal drama, and I love the headline because she's not dishing to take down Francois Hollande, but she wants to build herself up. She wants to reconstruire.
I'm going to bitch about him, but this is for me.
Very elegantly. And I got to hand it to her. I think that she has taken the high road here.
Really?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's kind of like I've been cheated on and I'll tell.
Well, she's trying to give, to contextualize it. But anyway, I advise everyone to watch the interview. In the meantime, quickly, we have to say Kim Kardashian has supported her child Northwest posing nude someday. Okay? So, not now.
Because I have not lived in the States for so long yet. I'm just like, Why is this woman?
Now
Why is she in the, yeah.
Yeah,
Why is she a
because-
celebrity?
Because she
Because one day her child will
Yeah, not now, but one day. But you know who is posing nude as we speak?
Really
Winnie,
quickly?
Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, he's been banned from a Polish town because apparently he has questionable genitalia. Or lack thereof.
Why Winnie the Pooh? Why
he
can't we
wears
say about
half
Barbie
onesies.
and Ken?
Yeah,
They've been
I know,
facing-
exactly.
I know, Barbie and Ken, with all due respect. Have we ever
Yeah.
seen their genitalia? Look at,
No, we don't want to.
no, let
we
the
don't.
Pooh live. You know, come on.
Yeah, come on, Poland.
So, Poland.
Poland.
Poland. Tony Grant, fabulous having you with me every morning. Thank you
you.
for the Winnie the Pooh genitalia. When we get back, sports, ladies and gentlemen. Stick with us. First, though, the news.